Hi again, everyone. Gary Digital Williams here on Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on the Beltway Podcast Network. And as always, you can hear the Boxing on the Beltway Podcast Network on Spreaker.com live, as well as Stitcher.com, iHeartRadio.com, and on TuneIn.com. Of course, on Stitcher.com, we have that offer for you. You can have 1 month free of Stitcher Premium. If you go to Stitcher.com/premium and put in the code of boxing. Put in the code of boxing. You get 1 month free of Stitcher Premium. And we have a little bit to talk about this week. We, of course, have the upcoming card that takes place at Live Casino in Hanover, Maryland on Friday, October 18th. We also have an update on a big win for Beltway Boxer this past week, an upcoming contest for Beltway Boxer, as well as a signing to talk about again this week. And I'm going to try, and I'm emphasize the word try, to make some sense of recent events involving boxers who have been in bad shape. Some have passed on, and we have another one just this past weekend that is in trouble. And I pray that by the time I finish this podcast, that he has not taken an absolute turn for the worse. We'll hopefully find out in the next few weeks and few days. Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network, brought to you as always by Real Time Pain Relief. From boxers to ballerinas, for shoulder pain and muscle strain, everything between, Boxing Along the Beltway recommends Real Time Pain Relief, the natural, plant-based, safe, fast, and effective ointment. You go to freepainoffer.com, you buy $10 worth of Real Time Pain Relief, you get a free $10 tube of Real Time Pain Relief, the official pain relief of the 2020 Daytona 500. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. And by DeborahSpears.com. She always has those great weight loss tips, great jewelry, and she has great training methods as well. You go to Deborah, that's DEBRA Spears.com. Well, let's start off with a big event on Friday, October 11th. And that's with Baltimore, Maryland heavyweight Cassius Cheney. He needed just 63 seconds to knock out Santander Chacha Azucar Salgado of Panama City, Panama. That took place at the Connecticut Convention Center in Hartford, Connecticut. Chaney just knocked out Salgado with a beautiful right hand and laid Salgado out for several minutes before he was able to recover. And Chaney went on to win the victory. Once again, time to knock out 63 seconds. So that is 1 minute and 3 seconds of the first round. Chaney remains undefeated. He's now 17-0, 11 KOs. Salgado, who was a former world title contender at the cruiserweight division, he falls to 28-8 with 22 KOs. That's a pretty big win for Cassius Cheney, beating somebody who had been near the top of his weight class at one time. So that's a good step up for Cassius Cheney out of Baltimore, Maryland. He's been living in New London, Connecticut, but he's back now in Baltimore. He's training with Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis. We'll talk more about them in a few moments because they're doing some other big things coming up in the world of boxing. Now, coming up this weekend, of course, we do have the Friday, October 18th show at Live Casino in Hanover, Maryland, Jetta Promotions card. And the card really has not changed since we last talked to you about it. It's been the same. No additions yet. So I'm wondering if there'll be any more additions between now and this coming Friday. We hope the live coverage of the card at Live Casino, blow-by-blow coverage of the Jetta Promotions card. Of course, the main event, once again, an 8-round super middleweight bout between Laurel, Maryland's the best at Nicholson. He'll take on Devon Lee of Jamaica, Queens, New York. Nicholson 21-3-1, 20 KOs. His last bout was on March 8th back at Live Casino. He scored a first-round knockout over Jesse Nicolo. Nicholson, as we said, was scheduled to appear on the May 11th card at the Eagle Bank Arena in Fairfax, Virginia. That was the Jared Hurd card where he lost the bout to Williams. And he had debilitating cramps after the weigh-in the day before the fight and could not compete. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on as we get into our commentary section. But he's scheduled to be on the Jared Hurd, Julian Williams card. Lee is 10-6-1, 5 KOs. He'll be trying to break a 4-bout losing streak. The Co-feature bout on the card, Baltimore, Maryland heavyweight Slick Nick Kisner being a 6-round contest against returning Clinton, Maryland boxer Danny Smooth Kelly. Kisner 21-4-1. He had no contest in his last bout against Otto Wallin in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Kelly has not fought since 2016, excuse me. He lost 6-round unanimous decision to Stefan Shaw in Carlton, Minnesota. And there is one bout, excuse me, a few bouts have been signed for the card. Brandon Brody Chambers, we just got word recently, Jetta Promotions has signed Brandon Chambers to a promotional contract. So congratulations to Brandon Chambers. He's out of Owings Mill, Maryland. He's a lightweight. He'll be in a 4-round rematch against Christopher Haney of Glendale Heights, Illinois. The two men fought to a 4-round draw at Live Casino back on March the 8th. And he is not, Chambers is not fought. He's 1-0-1. He scored a second-round TKO over Fred Thornton on August 2nd, Live Casino. Haney is 0-3-2. He has not fought since that March bout. Other bouts on the card that are scheduled right now, Bremer Jawara, he's out of Gaithersburg, Maryland. He'll take on James Too Slick Early of Seat Pleasant, Maryland. That bout scheduled for 6 rounds. Jawara is 2-1, 1 KO, coming off a 6-round unanimous decision win over Mark the Monster Johns on August 2nd at Live Casino. Meanwhile, Early is 4-4. He lost a 6-round decision to Chase Nelson on September 21st in Covington, Kentucky. And also in that card, debuting super featherweight Blaze Fiedler Hernandez of Arnold, Maryland. He'll battle the equally debuting Antonio Dunson L. Jr. of Baltimore. That bout scheduled for 4 rounds. So that's the card coming up this Friday, Friday, October 18th. I believe bell time is at 7:30. And I hope you make it up to Live Casino. See what has been really good cards as of late at Live Casino, thanks to Jetta Promotions. Now, we have one bout to talk to you about for next weekend. This will be on Thursday, actually, Thursday, October 24th, and that'll be at the Generoso Pope Athletic Complex, which I believe is on the campus of St. Francis College in Brooklyn, New York. And this is a bout featuring one of our prospects of the year last year. Her name, the Dark Menace, Tiara Brown. She'll defend her NABO Super Featherweight Championship against Vanessa Bradford of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada on Thursday, October 24th, we said, at St. Francis College at the Pope Athletic Complex in Brooklyn, New York. Of course, Brown has made a lot of news recently about her out-of-the-ring exploits. Of course, she's a police officer in Washington, D.C. and was recently named the Police Officer of the Year for 2019. But in the ring, she is just as dominant. She's 8-0, 6 KOs. She won that NABO title in her last outing on May 18th at the Entertainment Sports Arena, in Washington, D.C. Scored a dominant 6-round TKO over Angel Gladney. Bradford is 5-1-2, coming off a 6-round unanimous decision win over Stephanie Asensa on March 30th in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Now, this is going to be one of Lou DiBella Entertainment's Broadway boxing cards, and Tiara Brown is a DiBella Entertainment signee. So this will be the first time that I believe Brown has fought actually on a DiBella Entertainment card. So that's be good, and we look forward to a big win for Tiara Brown on Thursday, October 24th at the Generoso Pope Athletic Complex against Vanessa Bradford, scheduled for 8 rounds, and she will defend her title, her NABO Super Featherweight Championship, on that card. So that's been much the update as far as what's going on in the Beltway boxing scene. But I want to turn to a situation that, quite frankly, I know I'm going to have a tough time getting through this for a lot of reasons. But in live, because it hits home, I've seen it happen a couple of times now. One I saw live, and it looks like it's happening again. And I don't have any answers. I'm going to tell you that up front. I don't have any answers for this. I have suggestions based on what other boxing people who are a lot more knowledgeable than I am have told me. But I don't know if there is one answer to this. And that's the sad part about it. So far in 2019, according to some reports I've seen, we've lost 4 boxers in the ring to injuries. That's a lot. It really is. I mean, we used to have 1 or 2, maybe every couple of years, as I've been going through this. But this year has been really, really tough. Of course, one of the ones we lost, I saw in person when Maxime Dadashev lost his bout at the MGM National Harbor Casino and died shortly after the bout due to his injuries. That same week, a few days later, the next week, we lost a boxer by the name of Hugo Alfredo Santillan of Argentina in a car in Buenos Aires. So we had 2 ring deaths in 4 days. And of course, now comes word that we have a boxer by the name of Patrick Day, who's out of Freeport, Long Island, New York. As we record this, he sits in a coma right now. He's in a coma. He fought this past Saturday in Chicago. He lost to Charles Cornwell. And Cornwell knocked out Day in the 10th round of that super welterweight contest. They said Day's head, I didn't see the fight. The fight was on the zone. I did not get a chance to see it. But they said Day's head literally bounced off the canvas after Cornwell hit him. Conwell hit him with a right to the ear, followed by the left hook. Now, what this report that came from the Daily News did not say was that Day had been knocked down twice earlier in the bout, in the 4th round and in the 8th round. And I've read a lot of social media on this card, and some people who believe that this bout should have been stopped in the 8th round. This is on the Alexander Usyk, Chaz Witherspoon card, by the way. And some people thought that they should have been stopped in the 8th round by the referee. Now, again, the referee's in a real tough position for this, because if he stops it too soon, people get upset. Day is competing. He is trying he's still throwing punches. He's trying to win a bout. Trying to come back from what seem to be insurmountable odds. And the referee's in a real tough position. Because he stops it too soon, people complain. And if he stops it too late, as he didn't stop this bout, and I don't know who the referee is. That's why I'm not giving his name. I don't know who the referee for this bout was. But if he stops it too late, and something happens, people get upset. And as I said when Mr. Dadashev passed away, we as boxing fans, we as boxing reporters, we can't have it both ways. That's simple. I mean, there's some stoppages where you're like, at least you seem to know as fans that the boxer seems to be in good shape, and then referees stop it. And you get upset behind that. But there's some bouts that he's just, the opponent is, the guy who gets hurt is competing. He is trying to get back into it. He just can't. And are there better ways for a referee to discern whether or not a particular boxer can continue? I don't know. When Beathaven, Scotland was killed, and I saw that bout on television, the real ironic thing about that particular event against George Colley Jones on the USS Intrepid in New York was that had Scotland hung on in the last round, the 10th round, he would have gotten at least a draw out of it. That's how much B. Scotland was competing in that bout. And I believe the referee was Arthur McCandy Jr. And I don't blame Mercanti for not stopping the bout. He couldn't. I mean, truth be told, Scotland was doing very well in that bout up until the last round. So you really can't make a guess on that, because you rob the competing fighter of competing in a situation. I think, a lot of things are happening before the bout takes place. And this is where I think something has to be done. Maybe they should try going back to same day weigh-ins. I had a long talk about that with Daryl Telby Tyson, our legend here in D.C. And he believed at that time, I think he still does believe, and he's from the old school, so he would know, that it should go back to same day weigh-ins. Because when a boxer rehydrates, and eats and gets back a lot more of his weight after the weigh-in, he becomes stronger, he becomes bigger. And that seems to be the case, that when boxers get hurt, that's sometimes, and many times, the cause of it. I remember talking to Joey Gamache. He had a bout where he almost died in the ring. He came very close to getting a coma and dying in the ring in a bout where, again, the opponent had rehydrated so much and eaten so much that he was way past the super lightweight limit of the fight. And that, in this case, may be the case in Patrick Day's situation. I don't know. I'm struggling with this. To be honest, I'm struggling with this, because I don't want to see Patrick Day. Now, Patrick Day is a gentleman. I don't want to see him any more hurt than he already is. I didn't want to see Adonis Stevenson get hurt any more than he did. I didn't want to see Pritchard Colon hurt more than he was. I didn't want to see Maxim Dadashev die. Something's got to be done. I mean, people calling for the banning of boxing, that more than likely, unless it just gets totally out of control, will never happen. Boxers are in the hurt business. And as I said, after Dadashev passed, every boxer that steps into the ring knows that something like what happened to Patrick Day could conceivably happen to them. Having said that, though, it may come down to having precautions made early in the week leading up to the bout. Maybe the 30-day weigh-ins, maybe the 60-day weigh-ins. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I really don't. And I'm just kind of voicing my frustration on this, because this is the most I've seen in a long time, folks. And it's very, very distressing. And it's making me sort of question my love for boxing, my writing about boxing, in essence, promoting boxing in this area. It's making me question that, I'll be honest. Because it's frustrating. And I know the commissions are trying. Just in this area, I know commissions are trying. Pat Pinella takes a lot of heat as executive director of the Maryland State Athletic Commission because of the way he tries to make sure that every bout that goes on a card is a safe one. People have accused him of matchmaking. He's really, really looking for safety's sake. He's really being that tough for safety's sake. And I know every promoter, every matchmaker that's worked in this area has been frustrated at one time or another with the way the Maryland State Athletic Commission does their business. Virginia's not as hard. DC's not as hard. I've accused both commissions, Not the current DC commission, but commissions that DC has had in the past. I mean, I want to say that. But I've accused past DC commissions and the Virginia commission of allowing bouts that were ridiculous. And quite frankly, given that, I'm surprised it's not happened more. This type of situations have not happened more often than they do. And this is where the black eye on the sport is. It has nothing to do with bouts that are badly judged. I mean, those things happen and they are terrible. Don't get me wrong. But when you see boxers like Maxim Dadashev, who's on his way to hopefully being a world champion, when you see Patrick Day now in a coma, they had emergency surgery on him over the weekend. That's where the black eye comes from. Because we have no way, and thought of no way, to stop this, or to at least curtail this. And we're looking at a situation where it has increased over the year. I mean, think about it. We've had boxers either die or come close to death in the Beltway twice in the last 3 years. With Pitcher Cologne and now Maxim Dadashev. Something's got to be done, and I don't know what to do. I'm lost for words. Please, if you have any suggestions, please pass them on to me here. You can find me on Twitter at Digital25, and just pass on any kind of suggestion you may have. I'd like to read them on the air at some point. Well, that'll do it here for another edition of Beltway Boxing News and Notes. I'm sorry I wasn't more coherent than I could have been, but again, I'm frustrated more than anything else. And that's where that comes from. Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network. Brought to you as always by Real Time Pain Relief. You go to freepainoffer.com, buy $10 worth of Real Time Pain Relief. You get a free $10 tube of Real Time Pain Relief. The official pain relief of the 2020 Daytona 500. And by DeborahSpears.com. You get great weight loss tips, great jewelry, great training methods at Deborah, Debra Spears.com. And don't forget, you can go to Amazon, link on boxingonbeltway.blogspot.com. You can buy your gifts from that link. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm Gary Digital Williams. Reminding you, as always, keep supporting the best boxing in the world, the boxing along the Beltway. Thanks for listening. Take care.